the meantime, the PGJC Navy coming off 5 straight losses without Greg Dolor, Marvin Jairami, and Omar Leoc in the lineup. This is the second game of your triple header right here at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center. This is the open conference of the Spikers turf. Spin Doctors make it to the semifinals after a 3-set win against the Insurance Protectors. Meanwhile, at 6 p.m., the King Crunchers, HD Spikers, go at it to close out our triple header right here on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching us with Denise Valdesancho, Neil Torres. I'm Eric Dipan. Both these teams, they might be at the bottom of the standings, and you'll see it a little bit later on. But, Neil, they still have a chance of making it to the semifinals.
That is correct. We are just a few days away from the semifinals. And in a 6-team pool, there are plenty of chances for the other teams to make it through. Some teams are still fighting for their lives, so you can expect VNS and Navy to go all out today because this is a must-win game for them.
All right, let's give you the 6-team lineup of the open conference.
There's only one seat left in the next round. So Crisscross, Signal HT, and Savoj are already through the semifinals. So it's going to be up to Alpha, VNS-Laticrete, and PGJC Navy. Again, a loss today might just mean the end of the conference for either team. So again, they have to really pull out all the stops today.
Only 2 games remaining, excluding this game today, for both VNS and Navy. Now let's take a look at the last game of VNS. They are coming off 3 straight losses. In their last one, it was a 3-set sweep against one of the top teams, the King Crunchers.
It was a tough game for VNS-Laticrete because Crisscross played one of their cleanest games. They only gave away 13 free points to VNS, and it was already a given that Crisscross really dominated the scoring department in spiking, blocking, and serving. So it wasn't surprising that it was a sweep for the King Crunchers.
And one of the best things that the King Crunchers did, Neil, was the fact that they limited all the scorers of the Griffins except for CJ Segi, and that did the trick. I mean, really kept the numbers down in terms of offense for the Griffins.
CJ Segi is actually one of the youngest players for VNS-Laticrete. I think he's only 20 years old, but he has been the top scorer for the Griffins. Out of the 7 matches that they have played, 5 doon, double digits yung output niya. And he did the same in that game against Crisscross. 12 points built from 11 attacks and 1 block. So they do need to bring the numbers of Segi today if they want to challenge PGJC Navy. We know that PGJC Navy is undermanned right now, but that doesn't mean that they're not here to compete and win.
But one of the things about CJ Segi, those numbers, those are one of his lower outputs in the open conference. That's how good CJ Segi has been despite his age.
And he's the team captain. So again, siguro ang motto ni CJ Segi, I need to lead by example so that the other players can also find that confidence to help me in numbers.
Now, in the meantime, let's talk about the Sealions. This team has struggled. They didn't have Omar Leoc, we mentioned Jairami, we mentioned Greg Dolor, their last 3 games, and they've lost 5 straight, including this 3-setter against the Insurance Protectors.
That's correct. They do want to snap that 5-game losing streak today. They also had a difficult time in that game against Alpha. Alpha definitely had the upper hand in terms of offense. We know that the 3 missing players of PGJC Navy are really yung mga top scorers nila. Yan talaga yung nakakuha ng pinakamaraming attempts in every single game. 50 attacks for Alpha compared to the 38 of PGJC Navy. So they really need to work together. Somebody else has to step up in the absence of their top 3 scorers.
Well, as you can see, they put up good numbers, 23, 21, and 23 in 3 sets. 2 players in double digits, including Peter Kiel. They were led by Jacob, who had 17 points, his 5th game in double digits for the Sealions.
He has been doing the heavy lifting for PGJC Navy. The last time that VNS and PGJC Navy met was a 5-set match. PGJC Navy won that game, and they are looking to replicate the same output and the same result in that game. But again, for Jake Jacob, he also needs to bring the double-digit scoring output today because, again, malaking kawalan si Greg Dolor. We know that Greg Dolor has been the anchor of offense for PGJC Navy. So if he can bring out the best in his teammates today, they can get another win.
We hope get all involved offensively. The offense is run obviously by Owen Suarez and Vico Ramirez lineup for the Sealions. Now let's get you involved with our poll question of the game. Let's send you over to Denise Valdesancho.
Yes, thank you, Eric. Neil, of course, we love hearing from our fans. So if you're in the Pilipinas Live app, or if you're not, you can still go to the Pilipinas Live app because we have a poll below your stream running. And that's the question, ano or sino or which veteran will step up big in this match? Is that number 6, Kisi Kulabat, or number 15, is that Peter Kiel? Again, which veteran will step up big in this match? You can also join the conversation online by using hashtag SpikerSturf2025. That's using our Facebook, X, and Instagram.
In this match, first referee Joven Racelis, second referee Mark Santos. Now meet the starters. First for VNS-Laticrete Griffins, number 8 team captain CJ Segi, center Jan Mangulabnan. Opposite hitter number 5, RK Medino. Outside spiker number 6, KC Kulabat. Middle blocker number 7, JV Sumagaysay. And the other middle blocker number 14, Rash Nursudik. Starting libero number 21, JM Espanso. Head coach for VNS is Ralph Ocampo. And now the starters for the PGJC Navy Sealions. Opposite hitter number 4, class Jake Jacob. Middle blocker number 5, Ponch Castel. Another middle blocker number 15, Seaman second class Peter Kiel. Outside spiker number 19, Cherry Karangian. Outside hitter number 22, Edsel Menuncia. And setter number 24, Owen Suarez. Starting libero and interim team captain number 13, Seaman second class, Jack Kalingking.
Take a look at the starting lineup for Coach Ralph Ocampo. Nice to see JV Sumagaysay back in the lineup after missing the last 5 games for the Griffins. So let's see if they can get them going and snap a 3-game losing streak. In the meantime, a little shakeup for Coach George Pascua as Edsel Menuncia is part of the starting lineup along with Jerry Karangian without some of the key players we talked about in the open. Obviously, they will be an embattled team. We know that without some of their really key players, Neil.
Mostly, I think ang titingnan talaga sa PGJC Navy today would be their wing spikers, the performance of their wing spikers, because yun yung nawala sa kanila. They still have solid middle blockers in Peter Kiel and Bodge Castel. But will they get the usual numbers from the left pin and the right pin? And as for VNS-Laticrete, as you said, JV Sumagaysay is back. They know that they have a good chance in entering the next round. They did their computations already. If they win this match against PGJC Navy, and if they win their game against Alpha, they will be the ones to proceed to the next round of competition. For PGJC Navy, again, they have to win this game, and they have to wait for the results of the other matches, because their next game will be against Crisscross. So it's not going to be an easy match for them.
There's a nice move by Owen Suarez to get the first point of the Sea Lions after an error by Menoncia. Owen Suarez, 17 excellent sets in that loss against the Insurance Protectors. He didn't score. There's a good pass. And Arke Medino right away with his first point of the game.
It's also a very young player for Coach Ralph Ocampo. That has been the motto of VNS for the longest time. They really focus on grassroots. They take care and develop new and upcoming talents.
That's right. Jacob with a cross court, popped up by Curitano once again. There's a little fake from the back row by Segi. Segi popping it up off Menoncia. Medino with a disguised drop shot.
Blocking wasn't organized in that last rally for PGJC Navy. Menoncia was coming from the right pin. He wasn't able to catch up for that block.
So 2 points already for RK Medino after scoring only 1 point against the King Crunchers. Peter Kiel had 11 in their match against the King Crunchers. That's a nice block by Kiel. And powerful spike coming from Kulabat, and that catches the line.
We have a challenge on the floor from Coach George Pasqua. A ball in, ball out challenge.
So a very early challenge. Gives you an idea of how important this game is for Coach George Pasqua. Only 1 win so far. 1-6 is the win-loss record right now of Coach Pasqua. Their only win coming against this team in 5 sets. So obviously they have a little confidence coming into this game. As you see the result of the challenge. Little technical difficulty. We'll try to get that back on your screens. That's a little bit of a suspense. All right, here we go. Looks like it's going to be way off.
Yeah. It's definitely outside for Casey Kulabat. Good challenge from Coach George Pasqua.
So he still has 2 challenges remaining. Two serving 3. Edsel Menoncia with a serve. Here comes Kulabat. Yes, that is clipped by Owen Suarez.
Quick recovery from Kulabat of that unforced error earlier.
Kulabat has had a good season so far. Twice he scored in double digits. A former Golden Spiker from UST. Sumagaysay with the serve. Jacob popped up by Segi. Mulabnan sets it up to Nash Norsidik. There's a hit by Peter Kiel.
Great decision from Kaling King to go to Peter Kiel. Even in out-of-system plays, they can set up that differential quick attack to just maximize his presence up front.
There's a good pass by Segi. Medino popped up by Suarez. A chance ball here for the Griffins. Maulabnan back to Medino. Peter Kiel passes. Suarez, the back set. Jacob. That's going to be a tough catch. Oh! And Mangulabnan made a really valiant effort. Almost, I think, twisted his ankle, but he seems to be okay.
A for effort.
Yeah.
At that point, we'll go to PGJC Navy again. Jacob will be at the forefront of their offense. And the VNS knows that. They can build their defense against the offense of Jacob.
Who's proven himself to be very versatile as an attacker. Castel sends it over on touch number 2. Difficult set by Segi. That is popped up by Peter Kell. Chance ball once again for the Griffins. Here we go. Medino. Another drop shot. Pancake save is no good, says our first referee, Joven Racelis. And there will be a challenge again. Now, Coach Pascua takes it back. Initially, he was feeling lucky.
He was almost there. A few centimeters away from that ball.
Oh, nice serve by Medino.
Zone 1 is good for Medino.
You mentioned Medino, a young player. He's only 16 years old. Won't turn 17 until November. And he's 6'3", so he's pretty tall and pretty young.
Tatangkad pa. He's already playing against strong teams here in the Spikers turf.
Castel, that's popped up by Segi. Medino again. Bounces it off the net. Kalingking will set it up underhand. Here comes Jacob. Rejected by Rashner Sidig.
In tight situations, you can expect Suarez to put that ball up for Jake Jacob, and VNS-Laticrete already knows that.
Yeah. Right now, the height of Nursidik, they had Sumagaysay earlier in front as well, making it difficult for attackers. But there's one that goes through from Jacob.
But that's the thing, even if you get a couple of block points against Jake Jacob, you would still find other ways to get through that wall.
Jacob out of the University of Mindanao. Sa Davaoenyo. 5-7 is the score. Mangulabnan, a running attack. And there you go, Nursidik.
He was once a best middle blocker here in the Spikers turf. Kaya maganda ring pick up from Coach Ralph Ocampo.
Open Conference 2025. Now, Eric, Neil, a lot of things came unexpected for the PGJC. That includes Joven De La Vega's condition. But here's an update. He was just released after being confined, but full recovery may take 1 to 2 months. And even Dolora, Jairami, and Leok's schooling for their promotion was unexpected. But one thing about their kuyas, they are fighters. And that's what Coach George Pasco expects for his team in this very match as he fights to reclaim that win they got against the same team last round. Back to set one.
All right, thanks, Denise. Right now, they're putting up a valiant fight. There's Castel with a running attack. They're just down by 2. Good to hear that Joven De La Vega finally in recovery mode after missing the entire season because of an illness. That service is going to be way outside for Jeric Caranyan.
We will definitely see more sets to the middle today compared to sets to the wings.
Already with 2 points, Rash Nursidik. Their top scorer is Medino with 4. Menoncia bounces it off the block. There you go. Maybe some more wing sets.
That's the kind of power that he has to go to. Again, Greg Dolor yung pinalitan niya. We know that Dolor's attacks really pack a punch.
Here's Castel with a serve. Passing has been good for the Griffins, allowing them to set up CJ Segi for the kill.
We're seeing great distribution from Jan Mangulabnan. Sets to the left pin, sets to the right pin. Seen a couple of short slides also in the early goings of set number 1.
Pass by Caranyan. Menoncia again. Nice flick of the wrist for Menoncia, allowing Peter Kell that first touch. CJ Segi. Caranyan. Here's Jacob popping it up. Kalingking sends it over underhand. So a chance ball for the Griffins. Sumagaysay puts it away.
This is the effort that you want to see from VNS-Laticrete. It's not only focused on one single player. When we talk about offense, it should be spread out.
Suarez running attack. There's a block against Peter Kell. Suarez this time to Menoncia. Going down the line.
There was also a net infraction called on VNS-Laticrete.
Well, Menoncia showing us that he can put up good numbers. He's coming off a 9-point performance against the King Crunchers. Sumagaysay. Ooh, that could have been going outside. Jack Kalingking touched it.
It's back-to-back points for JV Sumagaysay. Parang isang training lang yung na-attendan niya before this game. Looks like the connection is there between him and Mangolabnan.
Oh, and again, he is feeling it. He has the hot hand. Edsel Menoncia once again.
Already 3 points for Menoncia.
Aside from being a Sea Lion, Menoncia is an architect. He passed the licensure exam 3 years ago. Ooh, what a hit for the 16-year-old Medino.
I can already see him in the UAAP.
Yeah.
Soon enough, I'm sure the universities are looking at potential talents here in the Spikers turf. Some of the players of VNS are in the UAAP schools right now.
Right. Segi plays for UST. Here's Jacob. Blocked, but it goes outside off Norsidik. A tight game here. Only a 3-point deficit for the Sea Lions. Former Tamarao Peter Kell with a serve. Another great pass. Kulabat off the block and into the antenna.
Kulabat knew the advantage in that scenario. Jacob was closer to the net. Went for that head out. Now they have a 4-point lead.
Kalingking with a great pass. Karanyan off a combination play.
Great spacing on that combination play. It started with an excellent pass from Kalingking. Bon Castel was able to fish the 2 blockers from VNS-Laticrete. Left Karanyan with an open block. Double substitution for Coach George Pascua. Uy will be a hitter. Nasanay na tayo na libero siya lagi.
Right.
But now it's a change in possession for Jason Uy.
During the game, as Nico Ramirez, the former Falcon, serves it into the net, Uy was a libero when they went up against the HD Spikers.
He was also part of the Philippine Army.
Yeah.
And the other editions of the Spikers turf.
That's right. Former Red Warrior. Kulabat. A short pass from Kalingking. This is an off-system play, and Uy sends it outside on his first touch. Well, despite the number of errors, there's a 3.
Di naman dapat matuloy ng pagtakbo. Karera, Bini, ang pagsimula muli ay sa tagumpay. Huwag mag-alala, buhay ay di karera.
The 2025 FIVB Men's World Championship tickets are now available. Head on over to www.philippines wch2025.com/about/tickets and get yours now. Stand corrected on the score. It's a 5-point deficit for the Sea Lions. Ramirez sets it up. Karanyan. Kulabat doing a good job keeping it alive. Chance ball here for the Sea Lions. Their first of the set. Combination play once again, and Karanyan this time puts it away.
That's the advantage of having a middle blocker like Bonch Castel. His presence alone will really disrupt the blocking pattern of VNS-Laticrete. That's the second time they went to that combination play. Substitution on the floor for Coach Ralph Ocampo. Arcilio will replace Segi.
So Jao Arcilio didn't score in their last game against the King Crunchers. He's another 16-year-old out of Camarines Norte. All right, so Karanyan to serve. Sea Lions down by 4. CJ Segi right now needing some therapy from one of his teammates. Looks like a right arm problem, but the serve is outside for Karanyan. So a free point here for the Griffins. Third service error already for the Sea Lions. Menonsha. And Kulabat once again to the rescue. Chance ball for the Sea Lions. Kalingking to Ramirez. And there's a net touch as Uy sent it down the line. Violation for the Griffins.
More free points coming from VNS-Laticrete. PGJC Navy has 3 attackers in the front row, so there are plenty of options for Nico Ramirez.
And that down the line. Good. Nope, it is outside. As Arcilio misses. So it's a 3-1 run for the Sea Lions. They are within 3 points. Medino. Popped up by Castel. Nice delivery by Ramirez to Peter Kiel.
That gamble played off for Nico Ramirez. Wasn't the best placement of passes, but he was still able to deliver that ball to the middle blocker in Peter Kiel.
Now a 4-1 run by the Sea Lions. They are within 2. Great pass by Kulabat. So Magaysay is rejected. It falls right on the line.
No coverage from VNS-Laticrete. That was a high ball coming from the block of PGJC Navy. It's down to a 1-point lead. VNS-Laticrete has to be careful with those unforced errors.
Yeah.
They've been committing consecutive errors.
5-1 run now by the Sea Lions. Overpass. Peter Kiel puts it away. And the game is tied from down 16-11. Right now, the Sea Lions tie the game at 17. Great serve by Castel. Another overpass, but a block there by Mangulabnan on the Kiel hit. So Magaysay sends it outside. And it's now, believe it or not, a 7-1 run. Sea Lions up by 1. Timeout, VNS.
Kaya humabol. Nawala lang si Segi, nagpanic na kayo eh. Receive lang tayo maayos para makabuo tayo ng play. Pwede ka mag-backline, pwede mag-backline si RK. Stick lang tayo dun sa ginagawa natin. Ha? Go, naka sa loob. Maganda naman yung receive niya unang dalawa eh. Diba? Hindi lang tayo nakapatay. Kailangan natin receive ulit, tapos first attack na maganda. Okay, pinapractice naman natin sa ano yan. Let's go! Iwala!
Great point. Again, CJ Segi has been their main scorer has been their go-to guy since the start of this tournament. So pag wala yung go-to guy mo sa loob, sometimes mas na-tense yung mga players. And Coach Ralph just really needs one good pass from his players right now. They still have JV Sumagaysay in the front row. They can go for a slide attack, a simple quick attack. But without a first pass, that won't be possible. We've seen a couple of shank passes from VNS. But ang ganda ng response from JV Sumagaysay. Started with a perfect pass from his teammate. And they went for that long slide attack.
That stops the run by the Sea Lions, but the damage has been done. We are tied at 18. Peter Kiel, that was a lift. Yep.
Catch and throw violation. It's almost like a layup.
Well, the set was a little low for Peter Kiel. He had to bring it from his right side all the way back up. So an error gives the Griffins the lead. Another piston play, and Mendoza knocks it in.
It's 3-4-3 of that combination play in the middle. It's all about the timing and the spacing. The triple block was there for VNS, but there were gaps.
And it seems they ran a lot of this in practice. Those combinations plays with Karangan and Mendoza because it's paying off. Nice block by Peter Kiel on Sumagaysay.
The intention was there for JV Sumagaysay to reset the ball, but again, coverage should be present if you want to get another chance to run an attack.
Good hang time as well from Peter Kiel, who's 26 years old already. RK Medino. There's a net touch there on Medino.
There's also a center line fault. That's 2 violations in 1 for VNS-Laticrete.
And they will not challenge.
They look lost, actually. Now, they had a very comfortable lead early on, but now it's PGJC Navy on top by 2.
Uy with the serve. Pangulabnan. There's a nice hit. Every time they need a point, the Griffins go to Sumagaysay, and he has delivered.
Sa ngayon, kailangan lang talaga mag-adjust nung receiving pattern ng VNS-Laticrete. The libero Espanso can get a bigger zone para kahit pa paano mas confident si Coach Ralph na mas mataas yung chance na makakuha ng first pass.
There's coverage on the hit by Mendoza by Peter Kiel. With the left hand, Peter Kiel pushes. Kulabat. Uy, popping it up. Ramirez chasing it down. Here comes Mendoza. And it's popped up by Arcillo. Kulabat. What a rally. Uy sets it up. Here comes Mendoza. Bounces it off the block. Picked up by Arcillo. Kulabat winds up. And a nice save coming from Peter Kiel. Rally continues. Mangulabnan goes to Sumagaysay. What a save by Mendoza. Peter Kiel. And that rally, probably some fatigue there.
And he's not a wing spiker, so timing is very different when you are in that left wing.
And he is puffing and puffing. Peter Kiel. That was some intense rally. We're tied at 21. Kalingking with a great pass. Peter Kiel running attack. Yes.
JV Sumagaysay let that go. And that just gave Peter Kiel more space to go for that killer cross-court hit.
And the Sea Lions back up by 1. Espanso with a great pass. Oh! The save was there for Jason Uy, but Peter Kiel and then Ramirez got a little confused.
Second ball will always be the seventh ball. So it was an excellent pancake save from Uy, but nagkatinginan si Ramirez and Peter Kiel. That's it for the double sub of Coach George Pascua. They need the offense of Jacob in this rotation because it is just a race to 3.
Yeah. Good outing in the first set for Sumagaysay with 4 points. Jacob. Kulabat. That pass going away from his teammates. So right away, Jake Jacob making an impact, putting them back up by 1. Not a good pass there from Arcilio. Kulabat. It's outside. No block touch. Says our first referee. Nope, the second referee, Mark Santos, saying there's a block touch, so the call was corrected.
There's a check on Jake Jacob. We're now tied at 23 all.
Jacob down the line. Espanso with the pass. Kulabat. Yes! And Kulabat gives the Griffins a 1 set point advantage. Timeout, Sea Lions.
Tuluan lagi mo eh. Kanina hindi nila alam yung combination kasi hindi niya usual na nakikita sa atin. Ngayon, usual na alam nila kagad yun. Pag out of system, bibigyan. Try mo dito kung mag-combination, iwan mo doon. Obvious na ibibigay mo sa likod kasi nakikita ka na kaagad. Titingin ka muna sa blocker ng kalaban kung nasaan yung middle na opposite, doon ng bato. Hindi basta bato lang ng bato. Ha? Oo, versatile. Hindi mo na makablock eh. Ha? Pagka maganda rin, automatic na yun.
I understand the intention of Owen Suarez at this point. Ang dikit ng score, he needs a sure point. That's why he keeps on giving it to Jake Jacob. But at some point, you also have to look at the defense of your opponent. When the blockers are already there, set up against Jacob, you can try other options. That's why Coach George Pascua pointed out that you still have two attackers here in the left side of the court. You can go for a quick attack for Bonch Castel, or you can gamble also on the left wing. So it's really about execution at this point.
And right now, they only need 1 point to stay alive in this opening set. So 1 good pass, and then it's all in the hands of Owen Suarez. There's the good pass. And the combination play pays off. Karangian, no, actually it falls in off the block, and that is it for the first set. But the Sea Lions put up a good fight in the opening set as we look at some of the highlights.
Again, VNS-Laticrete really felt the absence of Segi in the latter part of set number 1. But in the end, I just really want to go back to that last play of Owen Suarez. He listened to Coach George Pascua, but again, that combination, play in the middle, got the blockers already compressed. Kaya basang-basa rin talaga. So a split block isolation play would have been a better option for PGJC Navy. Again, that was a win for VNS-Laticrete. I just heard from Coach Ralph Ocampo na he's coming back, talking about CJ Segi. Nalamog lang, I guess. Nasiko lang yung arm niya.
That's good news for the Griffins. As for the Sea Lions, they need to bounce back here in set number 2. UAAP men's and women's volleyball season 87 is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity Channel, One Sports, and Pilipinas Live, because legends start here. Peter Kell and the Sea Lions erasing a 5-point deficit at one point in the game and had a 2-point lead towards the end. But they just came up short. A little change in the starting lineup for Coach George Pascua as Nico Ramirez will be the main setter or the starting setter. Meanwhile, CJ Segi is back in the starting lineup, which is the same one as well for the Griffins. I'm glad to see he's okay. He had his arm massaged, slightly pulled when he went out earlier, talking about CJ Segi, but he's all smiles to start set number 2. So Nico Ramirez to serve, kick things off here in set number 2. Let's see how he will run the offense of the Sea Lions. Both teams are 1-6 in the standings. A win here today keeps them in step with the Insurance Protectors, who are one of the 3 teams trying to fight for that the last spot in the semifinals. The top 3 already locked. We have the King Crunchers, you've got the HD Spikers, and then just today, the Spin Doctors making it to the semis with a 3-set win against the Insurance Protectors. That's the story. And we only have 2 games remaining for 3 bottom teams.
Yeah, Savoj's 5-3 win-loss card sealed their slot in the next round of competition. And it is going to be a round-robin format again in the next round. So that's something to look forward to.
Meantime, it seems Menorca is getting some treatment. So much volleyball going on. And tomorrow, we have the quarterfinals of the All-Filipino Conference of the PVL. That kicks off after the tough play-in that ended yesterday. And then over the weekend, if you're looking at UAAP volleyball, we'll be at the Araneta Coliseum. Here we go. Set number 2 underway. One-handed set, maulabnan. CJ Sagi, he looks 100%.
Got that first pass. And Mangolabnan still decided to return the ball to him. That one-handed reverse set.
Mangolabnan saying, let's test that arm. Meantime, no problem as well for Peter Kiel.
Peter Kiel has been so active in the front line.
Sea Lions looking pretty confident. All smiles. Game faces on despite losing by 2 in the opening set. Great pass by Segi. Here comes Medino with a drop shot. Caranyan bounces it off the block of Medino. Back row, Segi with a drop. And that is gone. Jacob not able to pop it up.
Drop ball works for CJ Segi, so that's back-to-back points for him. This is also something that I noticed in men's volleyball. Madalang nang kumukombinasyon sa gitna. It's always a simple play in the front line, the left pin hitter, a simple quick attack, and the right pin hitter. Tapos meron nakaabang sa pipe attack. So that's how they split the blockers of the other team.
Peter Kiel is blocked. It goes outside off Nur Siddiq.
Peter Kiel is facing all scorers on the PGJC Navy side. Unofficially, he already has 6 points.
And a rotational error here for the Griffins gives the Sea Lions the lead for the first time in set number 2. Mangulabdan out of position. Great pass again by Segi. There's a net touch. They're going to call that on Castel. Three all, set number 2.
Contact point was just too low for Medino.
So both teams getting 3 points early in set number 2. Jacob, ooh, that is way outside.
They're just exchanging 3 points in the start of set number 2.
Meantime, Kenneth Kulabat coming off an 8.7 dig performance in that loss against the King Crunchers. Short pass coming from Menonsha, and this one a short hit. Back-to-back errors for Jacob.
All right, there will be a substitution on the floor. Pagulong will replace Jacob.
Alfred Pagulong, former Mapua Cardinal, didn't score against the Insurance Protectors in their last game. 1 point lead for the Griffins. Nice serve from Kulabat, but a better pass from Kalingking. Karangyan, Medino popping it up. Segi. Menonsha with a dig. Castel pushing it to the other side. Mangulabnan. Norsidik got it.
Ball was on its way out, but Pagulong saw it. And when you're not sure kung papatak ba sa linya yung bola, you just have to go for it and fully commit to the pass.
Rash Nursidik with 5 already.
Tying the output of Medino and Kulabat.
Great coverage there by Karangyan. Karangyan backs up and hits and puts it through.
Karangyan saw the crack on that wall. He just took advantage of it.
3 points for Jarek Karangyan. Segi, another great pass. Ooh, and that is drilled in by Rash Nursidik.
Wow, what a hit from Nursidik. Again, against a single blocker. Going high. Going down hard.
Nursidik, former Red Lion. 7-5, make that 7-6. Another error here, at least unofficially the second service fault for the Griffins here in set number 2. Chance to tie on the Castel serve. Good looking serve as well. That's an ace for Barnjamar Castel.
It's like a tug of war against a service line. Both teams are trying to get offensive points from that line. Trying to push the other team to commit these shank passes.
7-all. Segi. Ooh, what a cut shot for CJ Segi. 8-7. Griffins up by
here in San Juan for Spikers Turf Open Conference 2025. Sana mabalik yung laro. Those are the exact words of Coach Ralph Ocampo in our conversation prior to this match. Looking to snatch a win, VNS has that extra motivation today knowing they did their homework for their very much anticipated matchup this round. Laking tulong pa dyan yung pagbabalik ni JV Sumagaysay coming from a right knee strain from their last PGJC game. According to Sumagaysay, he may not be fully recovered but he is getting there lalo na't gusto niya na talagang mag-contribute sa loob ng court. Meanwhile, as you suspected, CJ Segi previously experienced pain in his right elbow after contact during blocking in set 1. Nagad namang inagapan for his immediate comeback. Back to set 2.
All right, thank you, Denise. Well, nice to see Sumagaysay A-okay after missing 5 games. Meantime, there's a good block coming from the Sea Lions to tie the game at 8. Segi. Ooh. CJ Segi.
And when you need a break point, just put that ball up. CJ Segi, and he will convert. And single block coverage from PGJC Navy. Oh, Peter Kiel tried to chase after that block, pero masyado nang late.
Meantime, that is outside for Minoncia. And no touch. Back to a 2-point lead for the Griffins.
Coach Ralph knows that they have a good chance of making it to the next round. Again, they have to win itong last two assignments nila. First against the Sea Lions, next against the Insurance Protectors.
And they have a complete lineup. Oh, great hit by Pagulong, and there's a net touch against Sumagaysay. A lot of errors for the Griffins here in set number 2, which is why we have another close one. Coach Ocampo, always busy teaching. He's got a VNS under-18 team. They've got the seniors team peppered with a lot of under-18 players. Sumagaysay with a tip. Ramirez sends it to Karangyan with a drop attempt. Sumagaysay blocks it up top. Pagulong hits. Blocked again by the Griffins. Pagulong tries again. Here's an overpass. Ramirez goes to Peter Kiel, and that is gone.
That was a better distribution from Nico Ramirez. Pinahabol niya ng pinahalabol si JV Sumagaysay from the left pin to the right pin.
We're tied at 10. Espanso with a good pass. Sumagaysay touches the net again.
We're seeing a lot of free points again from VNS-Laticrete.
Little 2-point run for the Sea Lions to take the lead. Their second taste of the lead here in set number 2. 11 serving 10. Medino. That is outside. No. Clip the line. And no challenge from the Sea Lions. What a hit for the young RK Medino. That was a broken play.
Just imagine how he will play in 2 years' time.
Now, right now, already playing against grown men. Pagulong, yes.
Substitutions of Coach George Pascua have been contributing.
Good pass again by Segi. Kulabat against a single blocker.
Bullet from Casey Kulabat. One-on-one against Pagulong.
Seesaw battle here in set number 2. Take a look. And that one-on-one Neil was talking about. Great serve by Medino. Oh, but an answer by Pagulong off a piston play.
Yeah, combination play to the middle. This time for Pagulong. Nico Ramirez has been using Bonch Castel as their decoy in the past few rallies. From time to time, you also have to give him his touches. Kasi ayaw mo manlamig yung mga spikers mo.
Kulabat drop attempt. Ramirez picks it up. Castel will set it. Karangyan with a push. Nursidik tips it. Oh, what a save here by the Sea Lions. Back row Segi. Yes.
This time from that back row.
13 all. Kulabat serving. Always with that kind of Statue of Liberty pose. Kalingking passes. Combination play again. Karangyan knocks it in.
Well, if it's still working,
Yep.
they can keep on going to that combination play from the middle as long as they get the right spacing and as long as may mafi-fish yung middle blocker, gagana at gagana yung play from the middle.
That's what Coach Pascua has been preaching. They have not scouted our combination plays. Let's keep going there. That's what he said to Owen Suarez back in the first set. Overpass, easy put away for Minoncia.
So have to credit the jump serve of Karangyan, challenging the receivers of VNS-Laticrete.
And right now, the Sea Lions matching their biggest lead. That was in set number 2. Or make that set number 1. They led by 2. Good pass by J.M. Espanso and Nursidik. Here's a chance to set it up. Make a 3-point lead. Castel. Good chase down once again. Coming from Kulabat. But a chance ball here for the white shirts. On 2. Pancake saved by Kulabat. Nursidik with a left hand. Kalingking sends it over. Chance ball for the Griffins. Sagi outside.
It was a mishit from Segi. They're trying to ask for a check ball.
They will challenge. Is it a ball in, ball out?
Yep.
Ooh. It seemed like some of the players, some of the Griffins were saying it looked out. They would have probably had a better chance with a block touch challenge, but that's what they went with, so we'll see. Griffins coming off 3 straight losses. Our last match was a 3-set defeat against the King Crunchers, who are playing very good volleyball here in the Open Conference, beating their nemesis, the HD Spikers, in 3 sets. The first time they beat the HD Spikers in 3 sets, by the way. That's way outside. And then what's good is later on, they're going at it again. 16-13, biggest lead for the Sea Lions.
Pagrespeto po sa kakalaban. Kahit po, kasi po kahit mahina or malakas po, basta nire-respeto po palagi. Maglalaro po kami ng maayos at palagi po isi-sistema yung paglalaro.
Get your daily dose of sports updates on Starting Lineup Mondays to Fridays, 6:30 p.m. on Pilipinas Live, One News. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Kenneth Kulabat and the rest of the Griffins down by 3 against Bonjamar Castel and the Sea Lions. And the run ends off a service error by Karangan. Ramirez finds Castel, who knocks it in.
Kanina, laging decoy ang paggamit kay Bonch Castel. This time, Nico Ramirez found an opportunity to set that ball up for him.
Bonjamar Castel, former Imus player, also played for Richmark Sports back when they had a team here. Back to a 3-point lead for the Sea Lions. Mangulabnan. They go to Segi. Got it.
He was just on top of the blockers that last hit. That was against Nico Ramirez and Peter Kiel at that.
He's listed as at 5'11". He doesn't seem like 5'11" to me. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, he jumps, out of the roof every single time. CJ Segi. Unbelievable athleticism. Peter Kiel, one-handed dig from Kulabat, and nobody close for the second touch.
And when the defenders already pop that ball up, it's up to the other players to set that ball to the wing spiker.
Right now, Sea Lions looking comfortable, able to protect the 3-point lead. Medino. That hit the net, and now the biggest lead for the Sea Lions, up by 4. Timeout for the Griffins, who will listen in to Coach Ralph Ocampo.
RK, yung bola papunta doon. Pumunta ka doon sa loob eh. Yung bola papunta sa labas. So dapat ang approach mo papunta doon sa labas. Yan ang problema pag hindi kayo gumagalaw eh. Ilan na yung sinet ko? Sa opposite ko. Nahihirapan tayo. Dahil lang hindi ka gumagalaw. Go tayo, kapitan nyo lang yan. Kapitan nyo. Kaya naman nabulin yan eh. Hindi pa rin katawin.
Well, VNS-Laticrete just really has to focus on their passing. We've seen a couple of misreceives on their end. Kaya na-maximize ng PGJC Navy yung out-of-system plays nila.
And right now as well, Nico Ramirez doing a good job distributing the ball and getting everybody touches. Peter Kiel, Castel, Caranyan, Menoncia, Segi with a drop attempt. The block coming up short for Peter Kiel.
Even the soft touches are working for CJ Segi. Parang nakita na natin siya sa lahat ng sides ng court on the offensive end for VNS-Laticrete.
Combination play again. Pagulong is rejected this time.
Nobody went up for that block against Peter Kiel. That's why there was an established double block against Pagulong.
So it's a 2-point run for the Griffins. 17 serving 19, and it gets worse for the Sea Lions. A rotation error. Whistled by the second referee, Mark Santos. I think Ramirez moved too early. 1-point game. 3-point run by the Griffins. Pagulong fires one and misses it. That's it. Just like that, the lead, the 4-point lead of the Sea Lions is gone. And there's a challenge.
I think the last touch was on JV Sumagaysay. Parang alam niya na. He was hoping na hindi magcha-challenge yung PGJC Navy.
You can tell from the smile.
Let's see.
All-important point for the Sea Lions. If this is unsuccessful, the game will be...
Oh, it's a net fault challenge. It's not a block touch challenge.
Yeah. It's a block that it's a net fault. Yeah. So, if this is unsuccessful, we will be tied at 19. Actually, the point is awarded already to the Griffins. And here we go. No, there's no touch at all. So, the point stays with the Griffins. We're tied at 19 after being down by 4. JV Sumagaysay and the Griffins come clawing back here in set number 2. Underhand pass from Ramirez. Menoncia sends it into the net. The run continues. 5 straight points scored by the Griffins. Time out for Coach George Pascua.
Ang labas nyo dito para makapalo kayo doon sa cross court. Pagka lamang tayo, alagaan natin, nakaka-receive tayo, i-error natin ang walang kalaban-laban. No, sayang mo, di ba? I-connect mo ulit sa middle, pagka-receive, connect mo ulit sa middle, connect mo, commit ka. Ready lang tayo sa bola. Pag walang palo, di coverage tayo. Ganun lang kasimple yun eh. Kasi pumapalo yung kasama natin, nakatayo tayo eh. Walang intention na cover tayo eh. Kaya nagugulat pag dumating yung bola. Cover lang tayo. Support tayo sa kasama. Support.
Pagandahin nyo pa, pagandahin nyo pa.
7 of the 20 points of the Griffins have come from errors from Menoncia and the Sea Lions. Meanwhile, they benefited from 6 errors by Segi and the Griffins.
Halos parehas lang yung output in that category. Now it will boil down to the passing.
What a set. Well, what a block as well by Pagulong. Unfortunately, it goes outside. Wow.
Medino wasn't happy about his attack, but a point is a point. VNS will take it.
What a set by Mangulabdan. Medino pushes it. It was a little weak. It got blocked, but it went outside. Now a 5-point run. No, a 6-point run for the Griffins. Kulabat. Kalingking. Right place, right time for the dig. Oh. And Sumagaysay is a back row player, so he's called for a violation. Oh, wait a minute.
I think that will be called against PGJC Navy.
Was it Peter Kiel? Regardless, and now the Griffins up by 3.
Boys, ako naniniwala pa rin ako kaya niyong habulin yan kasi pinapractice ng ganyan ng score. Huwag lang kayong bibitaw. Huwag lang kayong bibitaw sa lahat ng bagay, sa receive, sa atake. Naintindihan? Hindi pa naman tapos eh. Ano ba? Kunting tapang ba? Yun ang kailangan natin eh. Sino ba maglilid sa atin? So, anybody, hingi kayo ng bola. Naintindihan?
Pagandahin nyo yung first ball, second ball.
Well, you like that Coach Pascua still has confidence in the team. He said, naniniwala akong kaya niyo pang habulin yan. They're down by 3. After leading by as many as 4 points.
So the overreaching violation was called against Nico Ramirez. He is a back row player and tumawid na daw yung set niya according to our second referee.
And here's a nice kill block coming from JV Sumagaysay.
Just enough hang time to get that block against Peter Kiel.
Pakulong blocked again. This time by Medino.
It is a block party inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Arena.
Back-to-back kill blocks. And in the blink of an eye, from trailing by 4, and have 5 set points, the Griffins. And a chance to put it away off a free ball. Back row, Segi. Got it.
As I mentioned, it really boils down to the passing. PGJC Navy gave up a couple of shank passes. Now VNS is up 2 sets to love against the Sealions.
Manic come from behind within set number 2, trailing by as many as 4 points.
It wasn't the cleanest sets for both teams, but in the end, the VNS was able to mount consecutive points to put an end to set number 2. They had stable passing in the tail end of set number 2. That's why they were able to deliver clean hits from different sides of the court. Of course, CJ Segi was still the star of the show on offense, but when it comes to the net defense, it has been Medino and Sumagaysay contributing in that department. 3 kill blocks for VNS-Laticrete, and the 2 kill blocks were crucial nung dulo. We were able to get back-to-back emphatic kill blocks against the attackers of PGJC Navy. They had more attack points as well, and hindi rin nakatulong na mas maraming unforced errors yung PGJC Navy. Now, VNS-Laticrete is just 1 set away from improving their win-loss card, and their fate is in their own hands. They can't wait for the results of the other matches.
Arena Plus, Astixa Sports, now piggybacking on what Neil said. They have a golden opportunity, CJ Segi and the Griffins, to put up a fight for the last spot in the semifinals. With a win here today, it doesn't guarantee them a spot, but they will tie with the insurance protectors. Meanwhile, for Jake Jacob and the Sealions, must-win situation right now. They can't even think about semifinals. They've got to win this set first. Can't get ahead of themselves. And again, KC Kulabat and the Griffins going up against a Sea Lion team without Greg Dolor. working on their promotion with the Navy. Omar Leoc not in the lineup. Marvin Hairami not in the lineup as well. Running attack, Peter Kiel kick things off here in set number 3.
Peter Kiel is already in double digits with 11 points to his name. He's the only player in double digits for PGJC Navy.
Ramirez still in the starting lineup after coming off the bench in set number 1. Segi, this is the man they got to stop. They have to figure out a way to stop CJ Segi.
Or at least slow him down. Sometimes it's hard to totally stop a single player from the other side of the court. But when you get good rebounds, napapabagal mo yung bola pagpunta sa backcourt, you will still get a chance to run your counter-attack.
Medino off the block.
Better hit from Medino. He has been trying to polish his swings. Again, bata pa to. More reps, for sure, mapapolish niya yung galaw niya.
Segi, meanwhile, second straight serve. He already has 10 points. Peter Kiel again. He's got all of the 2 points of the Sea Lions here in set number 3.
Yep, that's 13 points already for Peter Kiel. And if you really take a look at the stat sheets of the past games of PGJC Navy, no nandyan pa sila Greg Dolor, yung spikers talaga yung pinakamaraming puntos. But now it's the middle blocker in Peter Kiel. So Jake Jacob has to get his numbers. He has been silenced by the defense of VNS-Laticrete.
Only 4 points for Jacob so far. We mentioned he had 17 in their last game. And you get a good block there that I believe is credited to Jacob. 1 point lead for the Sea Lions. Menonsha with the floater serve. Sumagay side block by Peter Kiel, who has scored 3 points here in set number 3.
Out of the 4 points came from Peter Kiel. Offense and defense.
Now 14 for Peter Kiel. And a 2-point lead again for the Sea Lions. Kulabat. What a hit.
Finding that corner pocket open.
And that little pirouette in the middle as well for Kenneth Kulabat. So 1 point game. Ramirez fights Jacob. You mentioned it, Neil. He has to get going.
He has to reach the double-digit mark.
Yeah, if they're to win here, he has to score at least 10 or more.
Yun talaga yung pinakamalaking question for PGJC Navy. Nung nawala si Greg Dolor, the question was, who will be the main go-to player for the Sea Lions? Yes, Jake Jacob is there, but when he is checked by the defense of the opponent, sino yung magiging backup na top scorer? Yes, we have Peter Kiel in double digits, but so far, we're seeing that it's not enough to overpower the balanced output on offense ng VNS-Laticrete.
Good looking serve again from Medino. Carangian sets it up. They go to Jacob. Blocked by Nursidik. Kalingking keeping it alive. Espanso passes. Running attack from Nursidik, and it goes outside.
Jan Mangolabnan has been utilizing all of his attackers. He's getting the right spacing, and the tempo also is on point.
Griffins erasing a 2-point deficit. We're tied at 5. That's if there's one thing that needs to improve for Medino, it's got to be the serve. As good as it is, you probably get 60-40 or 70-30 at best.
Pero maganda din na as early as now, jump serve na siya, because before it was really float serves. Iilan lang yung mga men's volleyball players na pumupunta sa jump serves, but now that has been the norm. Normal na siya talaga na jump serve yung nagiging first point of attack ng teams.
Were you a jump server right from the beginning?
No. It was so hard to time for me. There were a lot of factors before na float serve yung mas pinupuntahan. Yung bola iba before. Mas nagfo-float siya compared now na mas nagsispin.
Castel. Good save by Espanso. Segi with a push. Oh, and that tip. Ramirez unable to get it across.
And patience is key when you are in the middle of long rallies.
Yeah. Just like that, Griffins on top by 1. Karangian, nice tip. Smart push there by Ramirez. Sending it all the way to the back row.
There's a clarification on the floor from PGJC Navy. They were asking for a 4 touches violation.
All right, quick clarification from Joven Rosales, the first referee, and we get going. 7-all, set number 3. Must-win situation for the Sea Lions. Battle at the net, won by the taller Castel, but the rally continues. Kalingking passes to Minoncia against 2 blockers. Ramirez, Jacob. Here's Segi. Karangian, the dig goes over, and that's wiped away by Nursidik.
Way off in timing.
Sea Lions back up by 1, 8.
Back here inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Arena in San Juan for the set 3 of this matchup between PGJC and VNS. Architect by day, a volleyball player by night. That's PGJC Navy's Edsel Minoncia for you. And for him, these are the exact moments he prayed for. Minoncia balanced his academics and athlete life while in Nueva Ecija. At kung may natutunan man daw siya doon, it's the value of patience. It took 5 years of being a varsity player before he finally got a medal. Kaya wala raw problema sa kaunting pag-iintay na mabigyan siya ng pagkakataong maipakita ang husay niya dito sa PGJC. Medyo napabilis nga raw yung waiting game when he was finally taken from the bench, and as soon as he stepped foot inside the Taraflex, he had his blueprint ready to be built and make space. Back to set 3.
All right, thanks, Denise. There's Minoncia with a push. But great floor defense so far from the Griffins. Nursidik sends it outside again. Second error for Nursidik.
That's back-to-back errors for VNS-Laticrete. This is what happened in set number 2. They gave free points to PGJC Navy, but they were able to come back naman afterwards. But you have to be conscious about those small balls because we're already at the third set. First set, siguro mapagbibigyan ng mga coaches yung mga maliliit na pagkakamali. But as you progress in the game, dapat tumataas ng tumataas yung quality of play.
Well, CJ Segi, hindi bumababa yung quality of his play.
And hitting that ball above the blockers of PGJC Navy.
Service out. Wow. 3 straight errors for Rash Nursidik.
Sea Lions need to capitalize on this 2-point lead. They can build on this lead. Habang nasa harap si Peter Kiel. Peter Kiel has been the best option so far on offense.
Segi. Jacob. Here comes Minoncia. Off-speed hit, dug by Espanso. Segi again. Ooh. So talented, CJ Segi. And it has so many ways to hurt you.
The Sea Lions really have to adjust the timing on their block. So pwede sila magpa-delay ng konti para maabot nila yung hang time ni CJ Segi. 17 excellent sets already for Jan Mangolabnan.
Minoncia is turned away. And the game is tied just like that.
We're seeing good numbers from JV Sumagaysay. 6 points.
Ooh. 3 straight points scored by the Griffins to retake the lead. 11-10 here in set number 3.
Setters don't get a lot of opportunity to score. So usually setters pa yung pinakamagagaling mag-serve.
Yeah. Menoncha, yes, finally gets it through the block.
Menoncha saw the delayed block of JV Sumagaysay. That's why he went cross-court. And it's about choosing the right angles when you're up in the air.
Medino. All right, here's a chance to attack for the Sea Lions. Jacob blocked by Medino single-handedly. They go at it again, and Jacob this time misses. Obviously intimidated by the block of the youngster RK Medino. Here's challenge for Coach Pascua, block touch challenge. And it's Sumagaysay already signaling to the bench that he probably touched it, but he's not telling the officials, so the challenge will continue. Sea Lions in a hole, a 2-set hole in this game against a team they are tied with in the standings. Out 1-6. Must win third set for Karangan, Menoncha, and the Sea Lions. This is just the second game of our triple header. Coming up, HD Spikers, King Crunchers. Battle number 2.
There was no block touch on Medino.
All right.
So Coach George will lose one challenge opportunity.
And that also puts them down by 1. 12 serving 11. Bad pass once again, this time from Karangan. Chance ball for the Griffins. Medino. Gonna be a tough pass. Another chance ball. Labnan goes all the way to Kulabat for the drop shot.
Smart move from Kulabat. It's not always about power.
Timeout for Coach George Pascua. They are down by 2 here in set number 3.
Boys, ang inaabangan lang natin yung palo ng kalaban kasi ang thinking natin pag naglalaro tayo, palo tayo ng palo. So yun nasa mindset natin yon. Kaya ang kalaban, pag din-drop ball tayo, nagugulat tayo. Kasi ang iniisip lang natin, puro palo. Kung anong ginagawa nila sa atin, pwede na naman tayo hindi mag-drop ball eh. Diba? Pag-alangan sila, hindi naman nila pinapalo. Ginagawa, dinadrop doon sa walang tao. So, ano ba boys? Konting taas pa ng volleyball IQ. Nandun na kayo eh. Skill na kayo eh. Nandun na. Nasa inyo na.
And it's about volleyball IQ at this point for Coach George Pascua. I'm sure yung individual players ng PGJC Navy, marami na yung pinagdaanan from their collegiate years to the other iterations of the Spikers turf. So they know what to do. And yun, sabi ni Coach George Pascua, simple lang, di ba? We can go for a drop ball. We've been going to a lot of powerful hits. Nache-check tayo ng mga blockers ng VNS-Laticrete. So why not change things up?
Perfect example of what Coach George Pascua explained in the timeout. Medino. That push goes outside, so very quickly a 2-point answer for the Sea Lions. And just like that, they tie the game. There's a challenge here, a block touch challenge by the Griffins. Griffins, their only win coming against the Insurance Protectors in 4 sets. That was 4 games ago. No block touch. Missed it probably by an inch.
Unsuccessful challenge for VNS-Laticrete.
So both teams with one challenge remaining and tied at 13 all. Short serve from Menoncia will hurt because they're coming off a 2-point run to tie the game. Now they gave up an easy point.
That challenge iced the server of PGJC Navy.
Here's a good pass. Ramirez finds Jacob. Bounces it off the block and ties the game at 14.
Out of reach for VNS-Laticrete. PGJC Navy needs to build on that hit. Hindi pwedeng magpalitan lang kayo ng points ng VNS-Laticrete. You have to score consecutive points.
And again, RK Medino, very crafty for a 16-year-old. Getting another drop right in front of Jake Jacob.
And sometimes when you're out of position, coaches would prefer you to go to these off-speed shots. Lalo na pag alam nilang advantage sila pagdating sa blocking.
Karangyan, drop attempt picked up by Mangulabnan. He was set by Espanso, the libero. Here comes Karangyan again. This is way outside.
Karangyan was under the ball.
16-14, 2-point lead. Griffins against the Peter Kell, 14 points off 10 attacks and 4 blocks. The top scorer right now for the Sealions. And on the flip side, CJ Segi as well, doing a good job for the Griffins, leading the way in scoring.
Magkatikit lang sila in terms of output. But when you take a look at the production of the other players on the floor, it is clear that VNS-Laticrete has more firepower.
UAAP Season 87 Volleyball is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity Channel, One Sports Pilipinas Live, because legends start here. Much better pass coming from Kalingking Jacob. Medino popping it up on the dig. KC Kulabat on the attack. Block, the tip by Kulabat. Kalingking passes. Jacob misses the mark, but he says there's a block touch. First referee doesn't see it. Only one challenge remaining for the Sealions. They will use it. And Rashner Siddiq says he touched it, so no need for the challenge.
It's going to be a break point for PGJC Navy, just down by a single point.
Chance to tie here on the serve by Jake Jacob. Kulabat with a perfect pass. Gets it back. Kalingking with a dig. Karangyan, block coverage by Uy. Chance ball here for the Griffins. And yes, Rashner Siddiq with a point.
More free balls just means more chances for VNS-Laticrete to run their offense. Those are gifts for the Griffins.
Double sub. Make that a triple sub. For the Sealions, Suarez, Pagulong, and Herald Domingo checking in for the first time. Here's Pagulong, bad pass.
And passing can make or break a team. This already happened in set number 2. Kumalas yung service reception ng PGJC Navy. That's why VNS was able to come back. They're trying to do the same thing here in set number 3. Blocking has been impressive also from VNS-Laticrete.
Suarez goes back to Karangian. Blocked by Segi.
He's doing it all for VNS-Laticrete. Again, they are eyeing that semi-final slot. Single block coverage against Karangian.
And biggest lead for Segi and the Griffins, up by 4, 19-15. They're also up 2 sets to nothing.
Dito mo mamimiss ang isang Greg Dolor.
Yeah. There's a block again by Nursidik this time. Pagulong tips it. Segi gets a taste of his own medicine, is rejected, tries again. The push. The up by Uy. Karangian against 2 blockers. And the effort, commendable, but it will not come back for the Griffins.
So PGJC Navy is still alive in this set. 3 points is manageable for them. They will have 3 attackers in the front row. It's going to be Pagulong, Domingo, and Uy.
So the up by Domingo. Here's a chance ball for the Griffins. Medino. Jason Uy popping it up. Alfred Pagulong, cross court. Segi. Karangian pops it up. Another chance ball for the Griffins. Sea Lions can't find a way to attack, and Segi will put it away.
Again, PGJC Navy just gave up a lot of free balls papunta sa VNS-Laticrete. Jack Capuno will be serving for VNS-Laticrete. It is a defensive substitution for Coach Rafa Campo. They only need 5 points. Get another win here in the Spiders' turf.
20 serving 16. And service fault for Capuno, who has yet to score in the open conference. And will get subbed out right away.
That is the 5th service error for VNS-Laticrete.
Great pass. Suarez to Pagulong. Dug by Kulabat. Sumagaysay, second attempt. Uy with the attack. Kulabat again passes. And the dump from CJ Segi.
We're seeing a lot of soft touches from PGJC Navy. And yes, they are setting up their own attacks. Pero when you really take a look at the power in those hits, hindi ganun kabigat. So andali for VNS to get their own digs.
Careless block. This is a chance ball for the Griffins. Segi. Back-to-back points.
It is closing time for CJ Segi.
Five-point deficit against Coach Pascual. Timeout for the Sea Lions.
Sige lang. Yung blocking natin, yun ang ginawa natin kahapon. Yun pa yung nawawala. Ang ginagawa nyo, sinasambot nyo lang, hindi nyo binablock. Sinasalon nyo yung bola. Hindi tayo mananalo pagka ganon. So sa kanila yung transition middle. Mag-commit kayo, hindi kayo paikot-ikot sa ilalim, kaya laging dala-dalawa eh. Lagi kayo nakatingin sa bola para makatime kayo ng pass. Okay, let's go.
Navy!
Coach George Pascua is also looking for production up front in terms of net defense. Kanina napipigilan nila yung attackers ng VNS, but right now CJ Sega has been using the blockers to his advantage.
Sea Lions just can't find a way to, number one, get a good pass off an attack, and then they can't slow down CJ Segi. There's a block against Sumagaysay, and nobody touching that. for the Griffins. So a side out for the Sea Lions. They've got their work cut out for them, still down by 4.
Peter Kiel is really trying his best to carry not just the offensive load, but also the defensive load for PGJC Navy. 15 markers already for Peter Kiel.
Surpassing his 11-point output in the last game. Nice dig from Pagulong, but another chance ball for the Griffins, and they have not missed much of these freebies. Peter Kiel with a drop attempt, and there is a net touch they call on Sumagaysay.
Here comes the double sub of Coach George Pascua. Babalik si Ramirez and Jacob.
One last push for the Sea Lions, only down by 3. Ramirez, this is just his 3rd game for the Sea Lions. He didn't play in the first few games of the Open Conference. Segi. And again, not many rallies when Segi attacks.
He's just finding all the right angles up front.
2 points away, Griffins, from a 3-set win. Jacob off the chest of Segi. Medino sends it outside. There will be a challenge, a block touch challenge. There it is. Block touch challenge for the Griffins. Griffins lost in 5 sets against the Sea Lions in the first round. That was when the Sea Lions still had Greg Delor in the lineup, Jairami and Omar Liok.
Oh, there was a check ball.
Fingertip. By a fingertip. Successful challenge, so it's 5 match points for the Griffins. 24-19. Here's a chance to put it away. They go to Kulabat. And Kulabat delivers the winning shot for the Griffins.
VNS will tie the win-loss card of Alpha Insurance. It's going to be 2-6 for VNS-Laticrete. As for PGJC Navy, they will slide to 1-7.
With still 2 more games remaining. Obviously, their chances of fighting for that 4th spot in the semifinals looks bleak at this point. So KC Kulabat with a winning point in set number 3, and the Griffins avenge their 5-set loss with a 3-set win against the Sea Lions. Let's take another look at that final shot for KC Kulabat. Overall, great teamwork for the Griffins. Everybody contributing. They're led by
Spikers Turf. So yun, regarding dun sa paghahanda namin, talagang nag-uusap kami every training. Talagang every before and after training namin, pinag-uusap namin ano yung kailangan namin i-adjust, pagkukulang namin. So ayun, talagang pinaghandaan namin to.
Yes, CJ, also kanina nung nagkaroon ka ng moment na set 1, you had pain sa isa sa mga elbows mo. So, kamustahin yung moment na yon and kamusta rin yung moment na as soon as you got back agad sa Taraflex?
Nung una, hindi ko talaga ma-feel yung right arm ko. So, ayun, sabi nila, ayos ko lang daw kasi mababa din talaga yung pain tolerance ko. So, ayun, pagbalik ko naman, sobrang saya kasi kinaya ko talaga. And sabi ko, pupush ko to kasi hindi pwedeng aayaw ako sa laban namin.
Yes, congratulations CJ.
Thank you po.
Again, anybody you would like to read for your win today?
So yun, first of all, binabati ko si Mama, pati yung mga kapatid ko na lagi nakasupport sa akin. Love you guys. And ayun, thank you kay Lord. Siya naman may dahilan kung ba't nangyari to.
Yes, again, CJ Segi, our best player of the game for this match of VNS against PGJC. Now turning it over back to the panel.
All right, thank you, Denise. Congratulations. So young, so talented, so athletic CJ Segi with 17 points to lead the way for the Griffins.
VNS-Laticrete just had more attack points in set number 3. Doon na talaga sila lumayo in terms of numbers. They had 17 compared to the 9 of PGJC Navy. Navy tried to set up their middles more in this game, but again, hindi kaya na Peter Kiel na talagang kargahin lahat ng offensive load for their squad. But PGJC Navy had their numbers in a net defense. Nabigay naman nila yung hinihingi ni Coach George Pasqua, but in the end, there were just a lot of miscues on the service reception. That's why they were forced to give multiple free balls to VNS-Laticrete. Again, CJ Segi played an efficient game. He's at 57% in terms of attack efficiency. So mataas yan given the 3 sets playing time. Nawala rin siya dun sa latter part of set number 2. So for VNS, their hopes for a semi-final seed is still alive. So it will boil down to their game against Alpha Insurance in their next outing.
And speaking of next, that is coming up next. The King Crunchers looking to make it 2 straight wins against the HT Spikers in our final game today. Our director is Ko Yupanco, executive producer Ada Bayuda, for Denise Valdesancho. My partner, Neo Flores, I'm Eric Tipan. It is CJ Segi, 17.7 in double digits as he leads the way. Griffins stay alive for a semi-final spot in a 3-set win against the Sea Lions.